Hey everyone, I'm Coach Wolverine.
Coach Colonna.
And today we want to talk about delayed gratification and sitting in the discomfort of delayed gratification. Now, you have a really good topic of starting on this one.
Super simple and it's super popular right now, and like cold exposure. I don't know if you're online right now, everybody's doing it. That's the cold shower thing, the cold dip thing. I'm a big fan of it. I think the reason it's such a big thing, like outside of all the benefits that come from it, is its time to benefit ratio and how much it sucks always is just right there. So like there's no morning where I wake up and I'm like,
yay!
yeah, like I get to get in this ice bath immediately before I'm even awake. I know Dill's got the same thing. He does the cold shower thing. And a lot of people, I mean, you go online, you'll find people for it, against it, and you get the, like, it's just a trend, it's whatever. But if we're looking at simply the mental sitting in discomfort, doing things that aren't fun with a bigger goal in mind, it's one of the easiest things to do. You can do it anywhere, anytime, and it's always going to suck. At no point are you going to get in a shower and be like, I can't wait to turn this cold. Like, it's just not a thing. So that's why I think it carries such weight, especially with me. And I get my athletes to do it. I get my lifestyle clients to do it and everything. And like some of them try it and they just like, they're not there. And it's like, okay, that's fine. But I want you to still try once or twice a week to do just a little bit better. And you build that in. I've done it with hot too. I don't know if you like.
The only time I've ever done it with, like, not the sauna. I've done it with sauna and time in sauna, but not in the water. I hurt myself.
Yeah, no, definitely not hot water. But so like in the sauna, there was a couple months ago on Sundays I was going, and there was a couple times where I get to that point where like the last 10 minutes of the fourth 30 minutes, basically I was in the sauna for 2 total hours out of 2.5, which is
That's a lot.
a lot.
Sounds exhausting.
At like 80 plus degrees. But the last 10 minutes felt like an eternity. Like when that anxious like discomfort, like get me the hell out of here, starts to happen, I'm like, okay, like this is where we work on stuff. This is where we start to make it happen.
You've activated your flight and fight response. So I'm going to take a wild guess that, just like myself, you have people asking you, why? Why do the ice baths? What is the purpose? What are the benefits? And I'm not talking about like the body recovery or sports benefits. I'm talking about the mental benefits of when we intentionally subject ourselves to discomfort, intentionally being the key word there, it makes the rest of life that's uncomfortable much more manageable to do.
Easier, right? Like, and if we look at doing the cold and then going to a workout, where do you get the most results out of your workout? Rest. But like to get to the rest point, it's your last couple reps.
Oh, yes.
Right? It's the most uncomfortable portion.
Yeah.
If the goal is growth, if the goal is anaerobic capacity, because sprints are, again, like no one ever is like, I can't wait to wake up and do my sprints. But you have to sit in it because we know that the larger goal, the benefits that we're going to get from it are bigger than this next 15, 20-second sprint, this next 5-minute cold dip. Like we know that it's there. And I think the biggest gap is a lot of people don't actually know it's there. They don't know what it feels like to go through that and then get to the other side.
If a person is a runner, the other side could be used like metaphorically, that runner's high.
Yeah.
Right? When you push through that discomfort, that liver stitch where you're just like, oh my gosh, this hurts. And then on the other side, you're just, it's like, just feels good. That would be what I would correlate that with. Yeah. And so like the actual physical health benefits aside, because like there is an entire list of doing the cold therapy of health benefits, and the mental aspect of just getting into that discomfort, because it's like it calluses your mind almost to just make you more resilient in the rest of life. And you know, we talk about this right now because it's a hot topic, and we both do it intentionally. And with, you know, we've gone to our buddy Nick's and done it there. We've got the one where we converted his hot tub into a cold tub, which was ridiculous.
We're never doing that again. I can just
way too long.
There's no shot I'm ever doing that again. Like that was ridiculous. But even way back in our little phone videos, we did the cold dip at the recovery lab.
Yeah, cold dip at the recovery lab.
To date is still the coldest water.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing beats the converted hot tub where I couldn't drive for 45 minutes. So
Yeah, and it was like, I don't even remember, like 5 degrees, 6 degrees.
yeah, it was like,
It was ridiculous.
and we were in it for 24, 25 minutes, and like, you're not supposed to do that.
No, don't do that. So another one that I do actually is, yeah, as you said, sprints, is I run. I run in the morning. And as you can see, I'm not built like a runner.
What do you mean?
At all. And so in the mornings after my weights, I will then run, and ask me if I ever want to.
Oh, like literally? Because I know you don't.
No, you can ask me if you. I never want to, and so I always force myself to do that. And it's like sometimes I'll start running. 2 minutes in, hey, this feels great, and then it's great. Most mornings it doesn't feel great at all. But I made the commitment to subject myself to that discomfort. So that discomfort then that callousing of my brain will also transfer into other aspects of life. It's the same type of thing as, doing focus work. When we don't want to do focus work, but we're like, hey, I made this commitment to do this, so this focus work's got to happen, right? What other aspects what other things do you subject yourself to that are uncomfortable? It's uncomfortable, you don't want to do it, but you still do it.
I mean, like the hot and cold, I utilize specifically to make sure that I'm doing it. My workouts in the style that I do them in, they're always uncomfortable because I'm going to attempt things that I'm going to probably look pretty silly at, and they look different. So I'm in the gym doing things where like it is uncomfortable to have people knowing that people are looking at you being like, man, that's a little ridiculous. So that, I mean, still even putting content out online, like I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't like it. That is a discomfort for me. Every time we come and sit here, this is not exactly a comfortable thing for me, but we sit here, we show up, and we get it done because we got things that with the goal that we have and the reasons we do it are just bigger than this small moment of discomfort.
It's bigger, right? We do these small things for the bigger picture. Yeah. I love how you phrase that right there, because that's, I think, so many people that I talk about forget about the bigger picture. We get into this rut of just the mundane of wake up, morning routine, go to work, go home, supper, evening routine, bed. And so when we shake up our lives and subject ourselves to those discomforts, those things that we want to do, like maybe starting that business or starting in the new gym or
joining a volleyball team,
joining a sports team, asking your crush out, like all of these things that are emotionally uncomfortable start feeling less uncomfortable,
less daunting, right?
Yeah, because you can actually be like, you can wear the things that you do with the badge of honor. It's like, yeah, I do ice bath or ice shower first thing in the morning. I can go across the gym and talk to my crush.
The same thing, right? It's anything that we do that puts us in that, like you said, fight or flight earlier. When you come out the other side of it and you're still alive, your brain is just like, oh. And that's just it, right? And there are periods I can even look at in my life where I haven't put myself in like an actual uncomfortable situation for a long period of time. And like that, it deteriorates. It's a practice. It needs to be done.
So the calluses, right? If you don't use your calluses will disappear. And there's times where, I was not subjecting myself to discomfort as well. And all of a sudden I have anxiety all the time. I wonder why, because everything seems like a big deal when it's not.
Not a big deal, right? And that's like the other things too. Like I'm still working on obviously like sharing things on an emotional level. We've even had that conversation because you'll come back and be like, hey, I don't want to know like what's going on in your head. I don't want to know what you're feeling. I was like, I don't know.
Feelings? What are those?
So it's like, but that's the thing, right? Like I'm never going to get better at it if I don't try and have that conversation. And a lot of that is having that conversation with myself. Never mind someone else, but it's such a big thing to like all these other things that I look at. And I know there's stuff going on that I've talked to you about. That's like, if I hadn't over the last year put myself through that, done and like asking, even when I asked you going through that relationship change last year where I was like, hey man, like I might need to stay on the couch for a few days. Like that's super uncomfortable. But to get to the position where you're asking these questions and doing these things is huge. And then the more you do, the less other stuff is a big deal. And then when you get to something that's an actual big deal, you're like, oh, I've actually just like won 100 times already, rather than, hey, I'm gonna do one thing. Yep. And this one thing is huge, and you're just gonna make a mountain out of a molehill, right?
100 little wins I find sits so much better on my brain than just one giant win. And because with 100, like it's creating that evidence. So every freaking morning when I get into the shower, I shower normally. So I'll be clear, my whole shower isn't a nice shower. I shower normally. And then my last little bit is a cold shower.
Yeah.
And so when you do that every day, I have, over a course of a year, I know minimally I have 365 wins to look back on and be like, hell yeah, I did that. And so like my one word of I guess advice would be intentionally do uncomfortable things. Step into that discomfort. It's okay. You're not going to die, I promise.
And that's the biggest thing. Like I said, even with like the cold is just such an easy thing.
Yeah.
If you don't want a cold shower, like get cold water, splash it on your face to the point where it's like uncomfortable.
Yeah, actually, that's how I started getting into the cold showers. Actually, was like contorting myself in my shower just so it would just hit my face until basically I gave myself a brain freeze and then I turned water
And
off.
I like it would have been two years ago. I read a bunch about it and I was like, all right, like we're gonna do it. And I just like had to hype myself up outside of the shower to get in it. I would do 5 minutes, 20 seconds cold, 10 seconds warm for 5 straight minutes. And that's one of the things that I talk to my clients about. It's like, hey, like start, like the goal is 5 minutes and do 20 and 10 and 20 and 10 and 20 and 10. And if you only get 2 20 and 10s, okay, next week we're gonna do 3, then 4, and then 5, and then eventually you're at 10.
Baby steps.
And then once I got to the 5 minutes doing the 20 and 10s, all of a sudden I was doing 40 and 10s. And then I'm doing 2.5 minutes and 10 seconds warm. And like you're working your way through it, and you're just like progressive overload, as everyone wants to talk about in the gym. It's the same concept. And I think for me, right, you talked about having a morning routine and evening routine, and that's one thing that I talk about with all my clients, but it's framing it as you're taking control back of your day. And that's, you have to look at it like, I'm in control of my morning, I'm in control of my evening, I'm in control of the gym, because working out in a gym is one of the only controlled environments that we have. So it's like, take some control of your day back, and then you can start stacking those wins to get those little things. It starts with like waking up and being like, I'm in control of a lot more than I think. And that's where the delayed gratification and all that stuff comes in, and sitting with the garbage. It's like, I'm in control of my response. Even though it sucks, even though it's hard, I'm still in control of everything in my body is telling me to get out of this water, get out of this situation, run away, grab vices, do this, do that. But I'm in control because I can sit here and be in it.
Yeah. And we can't let our minds make up the excuses for us to step out of it. So like, I know a lot of the people that I personally know who watch us do this stuff. If they're part of the group that's not into the gym, one of their things, how do I start going to the gym? It's like, you just go. You just make that commitment. Just show up. If you show up at the gym and you still don't feel like working out, you showed up, then leave. Tomorrow, walk on the treadmill for 5 minutes. The next day, 15, right? Just show up and start incrementally doing it. You don't have to jump right in and then do a 2.5, 3 hour workout the first freaking time, right? Just
go.
Slow.
And that's, so when I was signing people up at Good Life, which I probably signed up over 1,000 people when I was there, that was like, hey, if you are having a day, like just a day, and you walk and you come into the gym and you walk in these front doors and you scan your key tag and you walk in here and you look at everyone in the gym and your day is bad enough where you turn around and leave and don't do anything, that's okay.
Yeah.
But
those days do happen.
Yeah.
I've had them.
Right? But it's very rare.
Yeah, it is very
Very rare it ever happens. And you're never gonna, same thing I prompt a lot of my guys with is like, have you ever done a workout you regret doing? And they're like, no. So have you ever missed a workout you regret missing? They're like, all of them. Okay, well then don't set yourself up for failure, because on the other side of the discomfort is a win.
Yep.
And that's just it. Take control. And that's we get into the like you versus you thing. I like to say mind versus brain, because you really separate the conscious versus like the brain is just sending signals and you have to decipher them. Like, you are the filter for the crap that is there. Quiet the chaos, take a minute, and just do what you know is going to get you to where you want to go.
Beautiful.
Because it's not going to be comfortable.
No, it's not. So do uncomfortable things, guys. It's
Regularly. Make it a thing with intent.
It sucks at first.
I'll beat this one to death. Because it's like, it's made a huge difference for me overall, like hot, cold, all the little things, and like just trying new stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's it for today, guys. Please
Awesome,
like,
guys.
share, and subscribe on whatever platform you're consuming this content on. And until next time,
Cheers.
cheers. Bye.